about the world of video game development. The reason that it sounds like that is because a lot of people have some preconceived notions about it. Some people think that it's all fun and games, but in reality it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of that noise followed by like terrible things happening. So, the first thing I want to tell you about, it is for everyone. It is no longer for, like kids coming home to school or like, the 37-year-old versions that stay at home and just do it all day. It's totally it's like, they're making games for everybody now, for young people, old people, middle-aged people, everybody. It's just, there's a huge market for it now. So, with that, they are super accessible, especially with the advent of smartphones, with the Wii's, with Galaxy tablets, and with iPads. We saw on the trip to Dubai, Mark's iPad got passed around quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun to play. Like the Wii, they were developed specifically for people who don't play games. That's why you see a lot of elderly people playing. And then, okay, things that developers don't do. We are not jaded. You cannot be jaded, because one big thing about the industry is that like it'll get you down, it'll beat you down, and you can't let it get the best of you. You have to do it because you love it, like everything else. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep remembering, like, oh man, I'm making this little kid happy somewhere. So that's good. Another thing that we don't do is we don't play video games all day. That's another thing. Probably the biggest thing I get when I'm like, oh, what do you go to school for? Like, oh, video game development. Like, oh, my kid can play video games too. That's lame. So it's like, we do a lot of work. It's hard. We just don't just sit around and play games and like, call it a day. We also are not waterfall, surprisingly enough. We are a very agile industry, so we have iterations. We have iterations. We have goals that we set, and we go back and fix things, and we have, like, it's really hard because we don't really have a client. We just have a market, so we have to do our best to like assume. But things we do, iterations. We have different stages of development, and it comes in like the most primitive form to like releasing and having like a pretty polished product. So that's a big thing that is part of it. And then you'll see the first iteration is called first playable, or we also call it a gray box. This is actually from a game that I did with my team for a capstone in college. And gray box is, you do the bare minimum. You get it working. You try to show that you have a game to play and that it is kind of fun to do, so that if you have a person who's paying for it, they want to do it. So also there's the next stage called the look and feel. It's where it's a okay, well, either way. Look and feel, you play it, and you have the models get a little bit prettier, maybe not some textures. Not all of the gameplay is implemented, but you have enough to say, oh, okay, so it's coming together. Then you have like a demo, so where everything looks a little bit better, a little bit prettier. You can see it just keeps ramping up, slowly but surely, and then you're also going back and fixing things. As you can see here, the bike isn't completely done, but the buildings look a little bit nicer. The environment's kind of, cleaner. So then after you do that, you can demo it to different groups, and then it goes to playtest. Playtest, slowly but surely getting better. And you can, at this point, you're confident enough in the gameplay, or you're confident enough to just give the controller to someone and not worry about it breaking. You're not worrying about it not being fun or like not understandable. But at the same time, from that demo, from that group that's playing this game, you're getting constant feedback. So feature complete means that you're going to have all the features that you want to have in that game finished. So there's not going to be anything major added. You can make little tweaks here and there, but that's about it. So that's, if you get to that point, like the really hardcore coding is over with. So then you have pre-production. Pre-production is the ice, because there's code freeze at this point. We all know what that is for the most part. You don't touch it. You work on bugs, you fix little things, but you don't touch anything. It's like, you got your chance. If it's not done, write about it in your diary or your blog. But that's it. So after you get done with pre-production, hopefully most of the bugs are gone, and then you can release. When you get to release, that is it. It's going out there with whatever it is, your hopes and your dreams, and you take it out to the world and you just stamp on it and make it feel bad, and you give it to your cousins, and they're sort of really unimpressed because they're used to playing Call of Duty. So what are you going to know? I want to be a game developer. There's a lot of different things that you could do. There's designers, there's programmers, there's artists, there's UI, there's guys who work just with the controllers, there's sound designers, there's a lot of different jobs. I mean, there's a lot more than that, but there's a lot of different aspects to it. So like, there's not just devs and VAs, there's tons of things. But I'm a programmer, so these are what you're going to hear about. One skill set you have is physics. Physics is a big part of it. Everything you want to look real. You don't want a ball to bounce and not bounce on the ground. So these are some really basic equations that you can start out with to get, and these are, mind you, these are just one direction, not 3D yet. So these are just one directional, and you can eventually work your way up. Another cool aspect, one of my favorites, is AI. There's a lot of different things that you can do. There's finite state machines, there's pathfinding, there's goal-oriented behavior, and there's what I like to call the commander on the hill. These are all just different things you can do to make AI work. There's a lot of faking involved, and then there's the mother, which is graphics, because everybody sees graphics, everybody knows what it looks like, and every console just tries to squeeze everything about it. You'll see, like, these are rotational matrices, which is what is used to rotate objects whatever way, bump mapping, and then there's the almighty graphics card, which is like the most powerful thing in your computer, basically. And then there's story. Story is very important. A lot of people overlook it, but you know what makes a good game is playability. Make people want to play it. You know, the same thing gets chewed up and spit out so much, it's like not worth it after a while. So a lot of focus goes into there. And finally, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because there's tools, there's code optimization, there's so much more that goes into it. This is just the start. So if you want to look into something like that, it's really cool. It is a lot of fun, but remember, don't give up, because if you let the industry beat you down, I've had a lot of professors that really got beat up by it, but it's a lot of fun in the end. Questions? Anything? All right. All right.
So, a bigger round of applause, actually. Joe, do you want to tell them what went wrong?
Yeah, actually, there was
the video.
You noticed
something going wrong, right?
There were stills. So you guys, there was actually a video of the game that we made, so you could actually see the differences. But
for some reason, the video didn't play.
Yeah.
If I play it now, it'll play.
Probably, or if we don't look at it, right?
Same thing happened with me.
But great keeping the winging going.
Yeah.
All right, so the next person, the last person today, Anand.